The rainforests of Bellenden Kerr and Mount Bartle Freer are set in steep, rugged country that falls to the Russell River. It's rough country, and you have to be prepared to camp. But it's easily accessible to the keen walker. Two of the trekkers on this walk are Tony Irvine and Jeanette Kovacevic. Tony, a research biologist specializing in the reproductive ecology of rainforest plants, and Jeanette is the senior curator of reptiles at the Queensland Museum.
From here you can see the headwaters of the Russell, and you can virtually follow
Rob Jago is a self-taught botanist and plumber. He pulled the plug on his job for a week so he could lead the group.
And from there you can look up towards the summit of Skewed in the Clouds.
Sorrel Wilby, a photojournalist, recently returned from a walk across Tibet.
Like that.
See the small knob to the south, and then you go up, and there's Broken Nose,
Right,
just up to the top there.
Driving south of Cairns, through the timber town of Yungaburra, the walkers disembark at Anderson's Patch. The first section of the trail, over an old Aboriginal track, leads them to Coochie Lookout. Then across to their first camp at Jaya Cave. Day 2 takes them along the Russell River to the Middle Diggings. Midday of day 3 should see the walkers at the Golden Hole. Leaving the van at Anderson's Patch, the walk divides into two. One leads directly to Mount Bartle Freer, the other to the Coochie Lookout.
Reckon we'll be back here in about 5 days.
Yes, we'll come back out this way, Tony. And if we don't get lost, we'll be back here in about 5 days.
Are you feeling fit, Jeanette?
Oh, I'm all right, Tone, yeah.
Well, actually, it says you've got to be pretty well prepared, so...
I think I'm prepared for the shortcut.
Yeah.
Shortcut I wasn't going to get, nor a casual strolling pace. Jago was going flat out like a lizard drinking. Now, that's okay for locals like him, Tony and Jeanette. But for me, the 36 degrees Celsius heat and soaring tropical humidity made my 15-kilogram pack feel suspiciously like 30 kilograms of hot, soggy sponge stuck on my back. And that was just in the first half hour.
It's probably thousands
Yes,
of
well,
years
that
old.
climbs all over the banks.
No, much more closed
of
in.
this, particularly
In this forestry
metamorphic
road.
soil.
Well, we've got about another 400 metres. Yeah.
As we entered the rainforest, it was like suddenly stepping off a sunny street into the still, gloomy nave of an exotic temple or cathedral. The strange, sweet aroma of the trees and the isolated, echoed sounds of the birds gave the forest a kind of tense, forbidden atmosphere.
Indoor situations and also shelter.
I felt like an intruder entering some secret sanctuary.
The tree that Yungaburra is named after.
Oh, fair dinkum.
The canopy, that great green umbrella above us, blocked out the sun's burning rays. But it also acted like a lid on a pressure cooker. After 10 minutes, I was busting for the open air again. This type of forest completely covered the ridge we were walking along. The track we used was first shown to Jago by an Aboriginal friend when he was 8 years old. The route was also used by gold prospectors at the turn of the century, and later foresters. These days, the ancient trail bears the footprints of only the truly keen bushwalking fraternity, those lucky enough to have locals like Jago to guide them along. We dumped our packs about halfway down the spine of the ridge and made a short side trip down to the Russell River lookout. Jago convinced us the view, which overlooked Coochie Falls and the source of the Russell, would well justify the extra effort needed to reach it.
What's this bit here?
Are you sure this is the right route, Bob?
Oh, I think so, Tony.
Looks different to what I thought.
You right? He's okay?
Perhaps effort wasn't a strong enough word. It's true, I've built up a reputation when it comes to walking, but my uncanny knack of falling head over turkey is downright notorious. For me, putting one foot in front of the other is not merely effort, it's labour. A real labour of love.
Oh, wow, lovely. Beautiful.
And yeah, it's always worth it.
That's the start of the Russell, right where we're looking at, because on our left is Chuckalunka Creek and on our right is Cooperoo. And once they join together, they become the Russell River.
So this is it. This is where it starts.
Yep.
Oh, great. So where will we be going down? Straight over the top?
No, we don't go straight over here. Well, that's the shortcut if you want to take it. If you want to go the easy way, we've got to go right back around here to our left, around behind this bridge here, which is all cliff face. And see that little bridge right down there?
Yeah.
We come down that onto the river.
Right. The worst thing about making a sidetrack down a ridge is having to climb up it again.
You'll probably have to push me up, Bob. I reckon.
I can't get up the top,
Going this way.
It was as sheer as a wall in sections, and the soil was very loose, especially where I had so graciously restructured the track on the way down. The heat and the biting march flies were driving me crazy, and all of us were looking forward to a soaking in something other than sweat.
Get a little poke or something to keep going too slow, Tony.
The saddest in old Jago was starting to surface. He was teasing us with glimpses of the cool Russell River, still hours beyond our reach.
See this palm here, it's a very ancient palm, and it's called the Raniopsis, and that particular specimen is probably about 500 years old at least.
If a dinosaur was discovered in Australia, it would make front page news. And yet, in terms of plant life, we have the equivalent right here. Not just one or two ancient plants, but dozens of them, struggling to survive.
Yeah, well, they germinate in the wet when there's plenty of rain around.
Give them a good chance of survival, I suppose.
To get to the Russell, we had to cross Chuckalunka Creek several times.
Okay. Watch it here. A bit dangerous here.
Jeanette confided an almost phobic aversion to creek crossing, so I offered to help her out if she got into any difficulty. At the risk of sounding conceited, I must admit creek crossings are my forte.
Now, step over onto this rock. No, come on.
When it comes to creek crossing, old Murphy and I function under the same pessimistic set of laws.
We're nearly above.
right? Yeah, okay, come on, nearly there. Just a bit more. Well, that's got it, beauty. We made it.
We left the roar of the creek and ventured further into a different kind of rainforest. Giant buttress roots flanked our path, supporting colonnades of massive rainforest trunks. Oh, well, what's that?
Boyd's forest dragon. This is one of the more unusual species that are confined to the area between Cooktown and Townsville.
Yeah, it's pretty skinny, isn't it?
Well, look, they are pretty skinny anyway, but this one's a female, and looking at the general poor condition, I mean, skinny leg too, as well as here in the abdomen area, it's almost certain that it's just deposited some eggs.
It looks sort of like a dragon.
It is a dragon.
Oh.
That, see that split line down the bottom, all the rough scales, this colour, it's all part of the camouflage of the lizard. If you get it in dappled light, the broken light and the broken lines of the animal conceal it. You can hardly spot them when you're walking along.
Yeah, I'll walk behind you, mate. Just don't take me with you if you go, eh?
Yeah, I'm not.
One false move here would spell disaster. This is where Jago casually mentioned we would have to cross creeks, rivers and falls 25 times before we reached the base of lofty Bartle Crag. The pattern was set. Waterfalls, forest, waterfalls, forest, waterfalls. And at last, a chance to cool off beneath one. Amphitheatre Falls. We were only half an hour from the Russell now, but long overdue for our first day's lunch break. Jago gave us time out to swim, or simply assess the damages his beloved country had inflicted so far.
Hey, Tone, you got any alcohol?
Yeah, I've got some methyl here. What do you want it for?
Well, I don't want to drink it. I just want to put it... I think I've got scrub itch. Yeah, I've got it all over me. Look, no wonder I've been itching all damn day.
Scrub itch is just one little annoyance synonymous with rainforest. The others were yet to strike.
Where did you get this?
The itch is caused by a little mite which burrows beneath the skin in all the worst sweaty places, and during the course of our walk they eventually latched on to everyone.
Haven't done anywhere else?
Yeah, I've got it all over. No, it's all right. I can live with the rest. Thanks. There, that's a lot better, thanks. It cools it too.
What's this? A swim and a cup of tea? Jago must be slipping. There was even time to forget the torturous pace he had been keeping up. But not for long.
Come on, Irvine, hurry up, mate? Taking all bloody day. Simple little walk like this.
Are you okay? You got a problem?
Yeah, I got it, mate.
I'll go down.
Just don't fall on top of me.
Come down, Jeanette.
Gosh!
Pass your pack to Bob. Don't worry.
No, I'm not worrying. I just don't want to break my neck. So much for a swim, mate.
What, just put your foot there, mate. Yeah, turn around a bit.
Yeah, I'm going.
You'll be right, mate. I'll grab you if
I'm
you
going to
fall.
come down irregularly.
Okay.
Do my own thing.
No worries, eh?
No worries, Jago.
down, mate.
No sweat either, eh? No tears, no fears, no blisters, no grazes, no bruises, no flies, no worries. Reckon this is a tough one, eh? Mate, I've been on harder Sunday school picnics than this. Although we'd only just had our swim, reaching the Russell was still a great relief for all of us. Jago was worried about reaching Jaya Cave, our campsite, before sundown. Walking along through and over the Russell River was a lot less gruelling than trekking through the steamy, clothed forest. The breeze and the thought of bringing the day to an end kept our spirits up and our feet moving forward, even over such hazards as Tribulation Point.
Hey, what's that? Nice to take a walk on the wild side.
We just hear these clogs and a breeze.
We had only covered 14 kilometres, but in this sort of terrain and oppressive humidity, that was more than enough for one day. I felt more exhausted that night than I did at the end of 4 months and 3,000 kilometres of trekking in Tibet.
What are you doing here?
I couldn't believe it. There were other people mad enough to drag themselves through this place.
Oh, you know some of them, don't you?
Nikki Horsfall, an anthropologist, and her friend George Davis, one of the last rainforest Aborigines, have spent a lot of time in Jaya Cave over the years, digging the site for traces of early Aboriginal habitation.
George, and that's George Jago, George Davis, and you know both know.
The presence of permanent water enabled people to live here for thousands of years.
The basal occupation deposits, they're about 1.5 metres deep from below the surface here, and they date to just over 5,000 years ago. I peel it off layer by layer and found stone artefacts, quartz artefacts. There's still a lot of quartz lying around the surface here. Charcoal throughout, and that's what we do the dates on. I've got a sequence from 5,100, 4,000, 2,000, up to the present.
While just about every early civilization used stones to grind wheat, barley or some other uncultivated grains, the Australian Aborigines used the naturally formed mortar and pestle as a sort of artist's palette.
And you're asking, I was telling you about the...
Apart from charcoal, ochres occurring in rocks and caves in the area were crushed and mixed with possum fat to form a multi-purpose body in cave paint. The Aboriginal people, the Ngarjan, lived here in harmony with the rainforest for over 5,000 years. What we find so hostile today was a complete home to them. They didn't destroy their environment, they utilised it for their survival, eating from the abundant storehouse of plants, seeds, fruits, animals and insects. They built waterproof shelters from lawyer cane and palm fronds, and for hunting and protection, they fashioned shields, spears and axes from the giant buttress roots and vines.
Yes, I'm just about to put a handle on one of these things. Bump it on a bit.
George Davis has never forgotten those skills.
And you hold it, and you bind it.
Very tight, that, yeah.
Tight, yeah. And you tie it down so that it won't unravel, you know.
And you've got one you've done too, haven't you?
I've done one, yeah.
Yeah, could I see it, please?
Yeah.
Oh, George, that's a beauty, that one.
We slept like logs on that first night, and waking up to the view and sound of the Russell River was just magic. And yet danger was never more than a stone's throw away. If it isn't some vicious insect, spider, leech or snake, it's a thorn-covered vine lurking in the shadows. Or it's this, often fatal nasty, rearing its innocent-looking heart-shaped leaves.
This is the Gympie stinger. This is the most dangerous plant that we have in our North Queensland rainforests. Contact with this causes your glands to swell underneath the armpits.
Don't touch it, don't touch it.
In the groin there, and you get a burning sensation, and the pain can really last for several months after you've had severe contact with it. There are small hairs in the leaves, both in the upper surfaces and the lower surface, and when you make contact with them, they just immediately start this burning sensation. The chemical nature of it hasn't been fully analysed, like a lot of our plants in this North Queensland rainforest.
We've got across here, Jeanette.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty deep. Do you want to take your boots off or leave them on?
Take mine off. I don't want to get on top.
Okay.
Well, we'll go across,
I'll
Bob.
take my pack across.
Oh, they're drama queens.
What did you say, Paul?
I said they're drama queens. I reckon they've picked the worst part that they possibly could for us.
She gets a bit deeper here, Tone.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Oh, no problems, really. We'll just watch it.
It was so much easier to balance on the slippery rocks without shoes. And for once, I actually managed to pick the right path.
I wonder what she's at. Didn't help. Tony, I might need a hand through this deeper part. I'm worried about my camera.
Okay, Jeanette, I'll come.
I'll be okay, but I just don't want to go in the drink with
No,
that.
just stay there. It's a bit deep.
Yeah, it is deep.
Just stay back. No. Hold on.
After all that, you just take my pack. Oh, look, I'm right in the deepest part, I think.
Yep.
You take my pack.
Well, keep coming.
The boots, the one thing I didn't want to get. Yeah, I'm up on the high rock now.
Yeah. Keep coming. Are you right?
I'll give him a pack.
Don't take the pack now because it's too deep. You're just about out of the water now.
Yeah, all right.
The Russell River wound on and on through the rainforest, with hazards at every bend. That crossing was pretty deep, but predictably, they got deeper.
Okay, Jeanette, we're just going to head to that point over there. Now, just take it very easy.
It was lucky rugged Tarzan who brought his creature comfort air mattress with him. This crossing would have been impossible without it. Who knows? Perhaps we'll start a new trend in underwater bushwalking.
Oh, lovely. What a way to cool down.
Because of river crossings like this, we could only walk an average of 15 kilometres a day through the forest. As time-consuming as they were, though, each and every one offered relief from the forest heat.
I'll go up higher, Sorrel. Okay.
Take the loose stuff first before it falls in.
The warmth of the campfire at day's end soothes all the aches and pains and brings people closer together, physically and spiritually.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Thanks very much. What do you... That was rugged, but it was interesting.
Just staring at the almost hypnotic dance of flames is enough to draw out the philosopher in everyone.
I fell in love with this river the first time I saw it, and I've been coming back ever since. It's got so much that attracts me to it. The beauty of the river, the history, you know, not just the European and the Chinese mining history, but the Aboriginal sites. You know, this valley's just so rich in Aboriginal sites. It's a fascinating place, and up on the mountain as well. You know, I'm always so humbled to be on the mountain. I never feel like I've conquered it. I just feel like I'm up there enjoying the experience of being there.
The best thing about getting out in this kind of environment is the incredible intimacy that you have with the environment. You know, you can spend $100 and fly over it in a helicopter. You can spend nothing and experience everything. So environments shouldn't be something purely from a photographer's point of view. They shouldn't be something that are just visual, you know. You should feel them, smell them. Every muscle in your body should know and react with that environment. And I guess that's why I really like getting out into the bush.
I'm one of these very lucky people who combines pleasure and work. My pleasure is the beauty and all that I said, but also I love being without a flushing toilet, and I love sleeping in the dirt, and I love reassuring myself that I don't need all that materialistic whatever it is. But Also, I'm here because of the diversity of the wildlife, and in some ways, I'm the luckiest of all because I'm paid to do what I like doing. That's why I'm here. Love the place.
When I walk into a rainforest, I just don't see a whole mass of greenery. I see a whole variety of individual plant forms and animal forms, all struggling and trying to survive. And each time I walk in, I'm so excited. I find that something new every time. And the day I walk into a rainforest and don't find something new, then that day there will be something wrong with the world.
Day 3 was to be our last on the river before tackling Bartle Frere. I thought with a bit of height I may see the mighty mountain looming above the trees.
You're going to go up, mate?
Yeah. A huge strangling fig had completely wrapped itself around another tree, and its root system made a natural stairway into the canopy. And who could resist the urge to climb that?
How far up are you going, Sorrel?
All the way, mate.
Oh, don't be stupid. It's 50 metres up there.
I'd rather climb 50 than fall.
Well, make sure you hang on. You watch her, Bob.
Yeah, she'll be right, Tony.
I wouldn't go up there for anything. I'm worried about them too. They'll have a damned accident. Hey, come on, come down. Come on, we've got to get going too. You're taking too many risks. Come on. Ah, great view from here. Ooh, not a lot to hold on to once you get up here.
No, that's right.
My foot's a bit loose.
You going higher?
No, that's a bit. Oh, incredible.
From the ground, the canopy appears as a massive green umbrella. It's so high you can't distinguish the different varieties of trees in the usual way by their leaf shape. But for botanists, there are other ways of determining species.
Sorrel, this is one way we can tell what species of tree we're looking at by doing a blaze or a slash. Smell this, Sorrel. You smell it and see what you think it smells like.
You're kidding.
It's quite obvious by Sorrel's reaction that she knows what it smells like. It actually smells like human sperm. The common name of this tree is called spermwood. It is actually the host tree also to the Ulysses butterfly, the blue mountain butterfly that you see flying around.
And they
in
don't
the
happen
forest.
to be all female, do
No. And so when we can't see the leaves up the top, by taking slashes and taking note of their smells, the colours and the texture, whether it's fibrous or granular, we can then start getting some idea of what the tree is up above.
Is there a female equivalent?
A female equivalent to the
sperm tree.
To the sperm tree? No, in fact, I'm innocent in that respect.
Well, so much for thinking I was trekking through a virgin rainforest, eh?
Not too keen on this.
After days of walking through undisturbed, virtually pristine rainforest, It was hard to come to terms with this devastation. Next to man, cyclones are a rainforest's worst enemy. A few years ago, a cyclone whipped through this area, destroying great sections of the protected canopy. With so much light penetrating the forest, a tangle of weeds, vines and stinging trees have filled the place of the fallen giants, making it difficult for new seedlings to survive. Tony said it would take 18 to 20 years for the rainforest to regain its former glory. As we were approaching the edge of the forest, one particularly open section gave us our first close-up glimpse of Broken Nose, obscuring from our view the final onslaught, Mount Bartle Frere.
Day 3 in the longest stretch ends at Majuba Creek. Next morning, a short, stiff climb to Broken Nose. Returning to Majuba Creek, the walkers then tackle the final challenge, Mount Bartle Frere.
Australians are a claustrophobic lot. We like our open spaces, our broad horizons. We love our sunburnt country image. And yet, it's so sad to think that many of those sweeping views have been created through the destruction of environments such as tropical rainforests. The land lying east of Russell River's Golden Hole, the hub of earlier gold mining activities, is now just another endless rural development, encroaching the forests of Belendon Curve. Admittedly, it felt good to have a bit of space around us. But the cane fields didn't give us much protection from the harsh Australian sun. By late evening, we'd reached the Majuba Creek campsite. We left camp at dawn. Rob suggested a pre-Bartle Frere stroll up the smaller peak, Broken Nose. A chance, he said, to limber up. Huh, flat as a billiard table, he insisted, over and over again. An hour of vertical climbing later, Jeanette suggested that Broken Nose would make a better feature on the face of our illustrious leader than a name on a map. It was the last time anyone spoke for a while. If this stroll was any indication of what Bartle Frere was going to be like, it was better not to waste energy on words. Thanks. Wow. Wow, thank you, Tony. Ill feelings were quickly forgotten. the view was just magnificent. From Broken Nose, we could see right over the Russell River and more or less make out our route from the Majuba camp. It doesn't matter how exhausted you are, there is always enough energy left to appreciate a good view. I get a kind of adrenaline rush on top of mountains. I have to go high to get high.
Incredible view, isn't it?
Bloody long way.
It's beautiful though. I love it up here.
And so did the clouds, apparently. They were closing in around us quite quickly. But Jago was determined to push us harder and higher, all the way to the top of Bartle Frere. Instead of limbering us up, climbing Broken Nose had shaken us down. We were exhausted. But there wasn't time to be wasted resting. Only time for climbing. And more climbing. And stumbling.
You okay?
Yes. And still more climbing.
Some of that?
No, thanks.
You want one of these?
No, pass me.
Water.
Towards the end of a walk, having made a sizable dent on food supplies, backpacks usually get lighter and easier to carry. But not for us. Not on good old Bartle Frere. There was no water between Majuba Creek and the summit, so we had to carry several litres to sustain each of us. It's getting cold.
It is a bit, eh? My shirt's still wet though.
You got another one?
Yeah, in the pack.
Looks like the weather's getting worse.
When do you think we'll have to leave here to make a boat?
Another 10 minutes.
An hour and a half ago.
These pigs are all right, Tony?
A bit sullen. I've been carrying them ever since we started the trip. And,
We'd been climbing relentlessly upwards with our packs for about 3 hours now, and even Jago was starting to wilt a bit.
I'm into the heath now, Tony.
He'd slowed the pace down to a mere brisk stroll.
Oh,
this is what I like.
This was out in the open heath.
Woo! Suddenly the rainforest ended, and with it went our hopes of a clear vista from the top of the mountain. The weather had well and truly closed in. The top of the mountain was completely obscured, and still more cloud was inching its way up from the valley. Just 200 vertical metres from the summit, secretly relieved to be ending the day's long march, we made camp. It was the 5th and final day, and the going was getting really tough. But the tough got going as usual. It was 200 vertical metres to the summit as the crow flies, but as the dog-tired walker stumbled, about 2 kilometres. And it felt like 52. Just putting one foot in front of the other required our all. The reasons why people walk in the wilderness or climb mountains are as ancient and as complex as the rainforest is itself. Everyone gets something different out of a challenge like this.
I'm right tall, I think. Thank you. You go. You go. This is it.
Kidding?
No, we're here. Made it.
Oh. I thought we had another smoky out.
No, we look outside of this way. Ooh. Thanks, Sorrel. Right on your eyes. Yeah, right. Oh. Oh, fantastic. Well, we made it, you old bugger.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Ooh. Geez, I'm pleased to be here too.
That's great. It's a pity there's so much cloud. On a clear day, you can see right down at Hinchinbrook Island and the Hinchinbrook Channel from here. You can see the sea and the reefs and everything, the beaches.
The clouds are just as lovely.
Ah, really?
When I stand on a mountaintop, surrounded by endless plains of earth and acres of sky, I see not just the landscape, but myself in true perspective. On the outside, there's all that elation, a great sense of worth, of achievement. But inside where it really counts, I'm totally awed by my insignificance. We are so lucky in this country. There's so much freedom and still so much wilderness. In the silence of a mountaintop, above a world where change and commerce spin frantically out of control, I don't remember my bank account number or my work deadlines and mortgage payments. I just remember who I really am.